Welcome to Clocking In, Voices of NC Manufacturing. I'm your host, Phil Mintz, Director of the North Carolina Manufacturing Extension Partnership, otherwise known as NCMEP. My role is to drive outreach to NC manufacturers, build relationships to federal and state leaders, and coordinate efforts to drive profitable manufacturing growth in North Carolina. Throughout my time working closely with manufacturers, I have heard the most quirky, curious, and memorable stories. I wanted to turn these stories into a podcast so that others may hear and be informed and inspired. From humble beginnings to manufacturing titans, from tragedy to triumph, I will be interviewing some of these manufacturers who have made North Carolina manufacturing the powerhouse that it is today. Becca Jordan Wright is the founder and CEO of Piedmont Pennies, a food manufacturer in Charlotte, North Carolina. The company's original sharp cheddar biscuit bites won the small business category in the latest Coolest Thing Made in North Carolina contest, sponsored by NC Chamber. Launched in September of 2020, Piedmont Pennies now sells snacks at more than 400 locations in about 35 states, including online sales. Becca and the Piedmont Pennies' success has been featured in many news outlets and is just another example of how family recipes and traditions can provide unique business opportunities with the right passion and commitment. Here to tell us about the winning recipe and everything else that comes with it is Becca Wright herself. So Becca, how are you doing today?
Hey, Phil, I'm doing well. Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited to chat today.
Well, the holiday season's ramping up now where gatherings are abundant and snacks are plentiful. Is this especially a busy time for you?
Yes, it's the busiest time. It's the most exciting time. My team is baking away in our commercial kitchen to get pennies to the people for corporate gifts, holiday gifts, gift baskets, stocking stuffers. It's really an exciting time and a time of togetherness, which I'm selfishly excited for too.
You know, it's always interesting to hear how products and businesses get their names. I know in your case, your pennies are making dollars, so to speak, but just how did your snack get its name?
That's a good question, Phil. So Piedmont means foot of the mountain in French, and the Piedmont region of North Carolina is where I was raised. It's where the recipe was founded, and it's where we started Piedmont Pennies at Chapel Hill as an MBA class project. Pennies, we called them cheese pennies growing up, like cheese wafers, cheese coins, cheese straws. There's so many different variations in the South. We called ours cheese pennies because of their small, round, kind of, copper color. And so thus the name Piedmont Pennies of the alliteration came as a branding assignment in my MBA class project. So that's what we kept with to this day.
So were they called pennies whenever you were learning way back when you were little how to make them?
Yeah, we called them cheese pennies.
Okay.
We made them around the holidays with my grandmother as, a gift. We'd wrap them in cellophane bags, tie a little bow, put, from the Jordans, and we would put it on our neighbor's doorstep, just like people have a fudge recipe or a cookie or a pie recipe. The cheese crackers were our way of showing love and connection to our friends and family.
So Becca, I read and you just talked about your business being developed from your MBA project, but just when did the light bulb came on that this was something you felt like you could do? Was it before that?
That's a great question. It was. There's probably two light bulb moments I think about. One was when I came back from college and was making Piedmont pennies as kind of, again, a family tradition, hanging out with my dad in the kitchen because the recipe was his mother's. And we were making them and I was like, the world is so big and there's so many consumers out there. And my undergrad friends like these when I brought them back last time, like, why can't we sell these? And my parents were like, oh, well, good luck. They're so labor intensive. There's a lot of other cheese snack companies out there. You never compete on price with Cheez-Its. And this would be just a really hard thing to get off the ground. You got to have a commercial kitchen, staff, all the stuff. And I was like, maybe it could be something one day. And I came back a couple years later, went to work at Deloitte Consulting in Washington, D.C., and actually made Piedmont Pennies in my DuPont Circle row house for a couple clients. And I had my clients saying, did you buy these at Whole Foods? Like, where did you get these? And I was like, no, I made them. And they were like, what? You made crackers? I've never heard of that. And I came back and with my family again at the holidays, a few years later, and I said, no, like this really could be something. There's really people out there that haven't had something like this. So I wrote a 1-page business plan. It was just like a mock up of a mason jar with the brand, with pennies, with the stores we would be in on the side and a column. And I was just like, I was just noodling on it. It was just kind of ruminating in my heart. And I think it wasn't until COVID and the MBA, project opportunity to get class credit when the world kind of shut down from a social side that I was able to really put forth all of that energy and just get the product out there and start Piedmont Penny. So there's a couple light bulb moments, but it just kind of kept gnawing at me over the last, 10 or 12 years.
So now you're in deep.
Now we're in very deep. There's no going back now.
So we're speaking today with Becca Wright, the CEO and founder of Piedmont Pennies. Becca, I saw your feature on the Tar Heel Traveler, and it looks like you have assembled an exciting team to work with you on your business. How have you all grown together with this effort? And I particularly remember seeing one of you talking about being excited about not having to turn a crank anymore.
Lauren, Lauren's one of my best friends now, but was my first hire in Piedmont Pennies, and I posted on Craigslist, honestly, a job opportunity to help me, share the power of pennies with the people and make delicious cheese crackers and have a fun environment where you can, own your schedule and grow the company with me. And Lauren jokes that she rage applied because she did not enjoy her other job, and she applied to this kind of on a whim. And now here we are, 3 years later, and she has been my production manager through all of the highs and the lows. And we've been able to, delegate and elevate the task that I once did. Lauren took over. Now Lauren's able to delegate to our new employees to give them work experience and new things. And she was talking about hand cranking our machine. So the pennies evolution over the last 4 years started from hand pinching pennies, pinching the dough, little cookie dough ball almost type things onto sheet pans where we could probably do, 10 pounds of crackers in 6 hours to now being able to, about 32x our recipe to scale it up to a place where we're still able to be in a quote small batch, but we're able to oversee the quality and the consistency of what we're able to bake in a day. And now we've got about 3 women that are in the commercial kitchen, managing the machine and the oven and the mixer and the packaging process. And then Lauren oversees shipping, inventory, procurement, fulfillment. And then I'm kind of managing all of the sales and marketing and our P&L now. So Lauren has been such an asset, along with Kat, Leslie, Emily, who are our kitchen team. It's all female owned and operated. So it's good vibes. And it's a little bit interesting of a business model in that we really prioritize flexibility. So although we are in production and manufacturing, at the end of the day, business is about the people. And it costs a lot of money when it comes to turnover and treating people like, machines. It's not right, in my opinion. So what we try to do is, we hit our quality and our output for the week. And once we do that and know what we need to do, people are able to take time off and work shorter shifts and have, extra time off with family around the holidays, because we thankfully also have a shelf stable product that's shelf stable for a year. And so that allows us to ramp up with the seasonality and give people, the flexibility that they deserve, because at the end of the day, a lot of people want autonomy. And so that's why I try to give even our hourly employees.
Well, it sounds like you're a great leader there, helping people like that. So it looks like your business is certainly growing from your original cheesy biscuit bite. So people are making other dishes with your breadcrumbs?
Yes. So again, I give Lauren a lot of credit for that. We're having crumbs as a byproduct of our packaging process. So we were starting to automate. We won an NC Idea seed grant for $50,000 from the NC Idea organization, which helped us buy our new packaging equipment. And while we were doing it, we had to get something custom made because, we have a little bit of a crumbly product with no added fillers or gums in it to help keep the cracker contained. So it's super, delicious crunch in your mouth, but it leads to this byproduct of crumbs. So we were just packaging pounds and pounds of crumbs a day. And I was like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do with all this? And Lauren was like, oh, well, let me take it home and work, do stuff with it. And she has a culinary background. So she was making the pie shells and, tomato pies with a delicious crumbly, cheesy crust. We were making Parmesan penny panko chicken and crumbs of a Caesar salad, mac and cheese topping, all these delicious things with these crumbs. And I was like, wait a second, like we've got something here. Like, let me think about the packaging and, how breadcrumbs and panko is marketed and see if we can get this out to the people, because it literally is something we would throw away. And now, again, 3 years later, we've got our penny panko. We've got, food recipe competitions going on now of people submitting their favorite ways to use the panko. We've got it in 3 flavors. Our original sharp cheddar, Parmesan and herb, and our spicy chipotle cheddar. And it is, it's a staple in my house now. We have a huge bag of it in our freezer, and it's really a great way to elevate your chili, your soups, your salads, casseroles, your mashed potatoes, anything you would put panko in, regular breadcrumbs. The penny panko is such an awesome substitute for it now, and just so delicious. So it's just funny. It's another way of like how you don't understand how your business is going to evolve or your SKUs are going to evolve until you really listen to your consumers and your operations, and you're able to merge the two of like, wait, I see a supply and a demand opportunity here. So it's been a really fun process for us.
Well, do you send out recipes to use your breadcrumbs with?
Yes. Yeah. So if you sign up for our newsletter at PiedmontPennies.com, about once a week, we send out a different penny panko recipe. And our big goal is no food waste, right? So that allows us to use that byproduct and have it as a delicious companion in people's kitchens. But also, if you have any crumbs left over of your penny packages, if you've got crumbs at the bottom, like we say, don't waste a crumb is our saying, and put it on your salad, put it on your chili, your soups, and to really elevate your dish. If you sign up for our newsletter, we'd love to send recipes your way. We also have a blog, a bunch of fall and winter recipes with Thanksgiving around the corner for you to use panko with.
Who manages all that? You write the blogs and stuff, or who's doing that?
I do. I also hire a couple interns, college interns. They're looking for work experience in entrepreneurship, and we have, not a clock in, clock out system, but I really trust them to work remotely, and we're very project based. So I've got my intern, Sarah, who's working all on our blogs and recipes, formulation. So she'll take good ones that she sees trending on TikTok or in her own kitchen with her friends. And we try to evolve those to include panko and do our test recipes in our kitchen. And it's really fun. It's not always the most efficient thing, but it's just such a great way to connect with our customers and to have a little fun in the entrepreneurship process.
Yeah, I like the way you incorporate fun into your business. So all right. So you seem to have several branding concepts that are really seem to be fun associated with your business these days. And there's probably more than I've seen already, but I'm going to throw a few at you, and I want you to tell me how they came to be and what they inspire. All right. Let's talk pinching pennies.
Pinching pennies. Again, pinching the dough onto sheet pans, a pun and similar to, pinching pennies and saving money. It's kind of, we bootstrapped Piedmont Pennies since the beginning. So, I own 100% of the company, and we've been profitable since the very start, but it has been really low and slow growth. And so kind of the idea of pinching pennies is integral to not only the process of what we're doing to make the crackers and how it started, but also how we've grown the company, being really mindful and scaling appropriately, if that makes sense.
Was that term being used back when you were young and you were working with your dad and grandmother? They were calling it pinching pennies?
Yeah, we called them like, oh, we got to pinch pennies today. We got to make the crackers. And again, it was kind of an all day thing. We would have a little portable DVD player watching, White Christmas or something, and Christmas with the Cranks, and then or watching Elf, and then I'm standing on a stool and we're pinching pennies at the kitchen counter, pinching the dough into little balls in the pan. I mean, that term also, historically pinching pennies, you're holding tight to the small amount of money that you have and like pinching it in your pocket and making sure, you don't lose a penny. So it's funny that it goes both ways in our scenario.
Yeah. All right. The next one is stay cheesing.
Stay cheesing. So Pennies started again in 2020. So it was my MBA project, but I started like getting the recipe out to friends and family again and in 2020 because I was trying to help the world stay cheesing, quote unquote, stay smiling and happy during like a really sad time of COVID and a really uncertain time. So I was making them in my home kitchen to start, and I was putting them in little baggies and shipping them to old, friends from college, to my friends from DC, old clients, that kind of thing. And then when I actually needed the class project idea, I said, oh, well, maybe we could brand this and actually get it going. But to start, it was just kind of like, people go back to the kitchen to make food and tradition and to bring back those warm memories. And I was doing it for that purpose, to help people stay cheesing. So today it's our main slogan, stay cheesing's on like every package, every page of our website. It's our motto of like to help the world stay cheesing. So we bake quality products so you can spend time with those you love and quality time with those you love. And so just to help the world stay cheesing is kind of our motivating line.
All right. The next one is Penny Time Candle.
Oh, our penny time candle. So our saying too is anytime is penny time. We've seen people use Piedmont pennies as a delicious little charcuterie board addition, a late night snack, a road trip snack, a snack for their kids. And also, in the morning, people will have them, they're little cheesy biscuit bites, right? So when you can't make it to Biscuitville, Bojangles, Hardee's, choose your breakfast spot. When you can't make it to that, Piedmont pennies are, a good little nibble to have with your morning coffee. And so we came up with the saying, anytime is penny time, because our customers were eating them any time of the day. And so we came out with a candle line to kind of supplement our gift giving and our corporate gift baskets and opportunities with pennies. And so we have three scents of our candles. The first one is our garden party, which is more floral. Again, being in someone's garden, having pennies with your mimosa and brunch items. We've got our golden hour, which is a little bit more bergamot citrus focus, which is great to light when you're having a charcuterie board with your girlfriends and you're having friends over with a glass of wine. And then we have our nightcap candle, which is a little bit more woodsy, bourbon, smoky smell. It is so cozy, and it's what I would imagine, you're lighting with a couple friends over a glass of bourbon and some pennies in front of the campfire, in front of your fireplace at home. That was a fun offshoot. It's a woman-owned company. We get those made for us here in Charlotte by Ella B Candles. And so it's a woman-owned, family-owned company out in Matthews outside of Charlotte. And we absolutely love them. 100% soy-based candles with really pretty packaging. So it's fun to invest and partner with other small businesses that you align with. And
the last one is Penny Pals.
Penny Pals. Penny Pals is our term for loyal customers. And we always say that it's important to be a pal. We called Penny Pals from the very beginning our loyal customers that were, ordering pennies on subscription, telling their friends about it. I mean, the power of our Penny Pals and word of mouth marketing is incredible. We call our loyal customers those that subscribe to our newsletter, those that know about pennies, those that rep the merch, have the candle, have had pennies and will talk about us. And, the situations with friends and family, we call them loyal Penny Pals. So that's our term.
Yeah, so we're speaking today with Becca Wright, the CEO and founder of Piedmont Pennies in Charlotte, North Carolina. Becca, just how much time of your life do you put into this? Is this what you just kind of do all the time?
That's kind of a loaded question, Phil. I think my family would say yes, but yeah. I'm always thinking about it. Because pennies is just so much more than a cheese cracker, in my opinion, especially now after winning this Coolest Thing Made in North Carolina award and having so many friends and families and penny pals and retailers and wholesalers support us. It really has, blended in with my different life stages and friends and family that have come together to help pennies become what it is today. I really think it's like an ode to North Carolina and entrepreneurship and innovation that's happening here. And, I do think about it almost 24/7, but really good things come out of it too. I just love the opportunity to help other entrepreneurs and help people think outside the box, and maybe they see something as a challenge or an obstacle at first, but realizing that sometimes those challenges and obstacles are really opportunities, and sometimes you just gotta take the leap of faith and get started in entrepreneurship, and you figure it out as you go. So yeah, to answer your question, I do think I think about it all the time, but a lot more than just the crackers themselves and how to grow the business, but like how to grow the good that is coming out of the business and to just make people into more penny pals.
Yeah, it sounds like that's translating to just some service that you like to provide. I saw a note about you're helping out after the hurricane in the Western North Carolina. What are some of the things you've done for that?
Yeah, the hurricane really wrecked a lot of our gift shop retailers, and I think being in Charlotte, I grew up going to Blowing Rock, Boone area, and Asheville, and this state of North Carolina means so much to me, and so seeing the firsthand effects on social media and through our retailers, emailing and texting them, checking in, it was just extremely gut wrenching to think about how people can build up their businesses year after year and to be doing the same thing I'm doing and then lose everything. It was an opportunity too. It was coming into our busiest time of year, but in some ways, we had the cash flow and the time to help out and help them out in ways that we could get creative with. And I had a lot of Penny Pal customers that were from out of North Carolina that were like, what's going on? How can we help? And I felt like Pennies could be a bridge to help people get plugged in and helping Western North Carolina. So we took off a couple of days of work, was able to go volunteer with Samaritan's Purse, like be boots on the ground, really see where the money was needed. We were out of Boone, North Carolina, and Vilas, North Carolina, and just being on the ground and seeing the devastation. It was like they really need funds. Like these people really need the funds. And yes, the physical help is also great, but like it's going to take a long time to rebuild. So we ended up donating over 2 weeks. We donated about $14,000 to Red Cross, Samaritan's Purse, and this kind of Western NC coalition that Governor Cooper put together, fundraising efforts to help give money to the local chambers and the local nonprofits there that were boots on the ground building back and knew the places that the funds most needed to go to. So that was incredible because it was like a 2-week sprint and we did all 100% of proceeds went to that. And so super proud of that money that we were able to donate. And now all of our merchandise, our hats, our t-shirts, all of the candle sales, all of those proceeds for the end of the year are going to go to those organizations. So it's, you can both do good and also do good business at the same time.
That's a great story, Becca. We've been talking to Becca Wright, CEO of founder of Piedmont Pennies in Charlotte, North Carolina. All right, so is the sky the limit? How far do you want to go? How much do you want to expand? Is it going to be can you serve the whole country? Where are you coming from right now?
Yeah, it's a good question. Definitely not where we are right now. We're excited about expanding. I think that's the next thing on the horizon. We're looking at larger spaces and growing our team, investing in some fun marketing and new partnerships with some larger retailers. But I'm way more about sustainable growth than growing at all possible costs. So I think it's really what's doing right for our team and our Penny Pals and making sure that we're being really customer centric in what we're coming up with, rather than just trying to, go for gold and push in all situations. So exciting things to come. If I knew them, I'd tell you. But I feel like every week and month, there's a new opportunity that unfolds, and we just are trying to be present and open and willing to saying yes to those things and, analyzing our opportunities in a smart way. But I'm excited. We are going to grow our facility. We're looking for new space, grow our team, grow kind of our marketing and sales team as well. So the sky's the limit for Piedmont Pennies and for, new lines that we come out with, again, just focusing on going back to our mission about quality, baking quality snacks so you can spend quality time with those you love. Like that's our goal. So we'll figure out the ways of doing that are best for our customers over the next couple of years.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had one, so I gotta go find it. How easy will it be to find it? Can I just go around the corner and get some?
Yeah, so you can get them online at PiedmontPennies.com. We ship nationwide. We're also in all of the North Carolina Fresh Market locations, the Fresh Market grocery stores. And also we have a store locator on our site at the bottom of our homepage, at the footer. So you can put in your zip code and find the local small business near you that carries them.
So again, it was the Piedmont Pennies original sharp cheddar biscuit bites that won the coolest thing made in North Carolina contest.
Yeah.
And it was Becca Wright's the founder and CEO of Piedmont Pennies, that led that charge. And we're excited to be talking with you today. And thank you for your time.
Thank you, Phil. Stay cheesing.
Yeah, I guess I will.
Thank you for joining today's Clocking In, Voices of NC Manufacturing. This podcast is brought to you by NC State's College of Engineering, the North Carolina Manufacturing Extension Partnership, and Industry Expansion Solutions. If you'd like to learn more about the solutions NCMEP offers, go to www.ncmep.org. Want to listen to previous Clocking In podcasts? Go to ncmep.org/clockingin.